the objectives for this practice is to learn how to use the pendulum in order to normalize the Sharpie impact tests with steel at different conditions and temperature.
For this test, we are going to use the pendulum. Before testing the actual sample, we need to calibrate it. For this, we need to put the gauge right on the top of the scale and take off the security piece and just pull the lever like this. And it's important to catch it afterwards and put the safety piece. If it's well calibrated, the gauge is going to mark 0 because it's 0 pounds per foot because there's no sample. So that tells us this is well calibrated. Then we are going to use the actual sample. We need to put the gauge at the end, and remember that the sample needs to be with the mark facing the opposite side of the impact. So we need to put it like this. The mark facing outwards. Take out the security button. Catch it, put the security. And here we have our piece. The results for this type of material is 45 pounds per foot.
Impact resistance is the capacity of the material to absorb the hits without breaking. Sharpie test is a standardized test that determines the amount of energy absorbed by a material. The ISO test is analyzed by the ASTM method, and it's almost similar to the Sharpie test, but the difference is that instead of using 3 bending points, it's only used 2. The ductile fracture is the one that have a necking process before the fracture. And the fragile fracture is the one that breaks and have a fracture that doesn't have a plastic deformation.
Temperature is the one responsible for some changes in the materials related to its ductility and fragility.
So these are the results for our impact test. Here we have the boat Steels 1045. This one was the one who was with 25 Celsius degrees. As we can see, it took more energy to broke, and it's fragile because we doesn't have like tips around the broken area. In here, this one was at minus 11 Celsius degrees, and we can see that the impact has more profound damage, and it absorbed less energy. For the steel 1018, we have that the little tips here, so we can say that it's more ductile, and it needs more energy to break the piece. If we compare this one that was at 25 Celsius degrees, we can see that it didn't took that much energy than this one.
A higher concentration of carbon means that there is more fragility on low temperatures and that its ductility reduces, so does its toughness. The steel 1018 has a low carbon concentration and the steel 1045 has a higher carbon content.
With this practice, I learned a lot about the impact test and how to apply it. I also learned about that the impact test is really important because it measures the hardness and the resistance of a material.
Well, in this practice, I learned a lot about impact test. It was really interesting how the temperature have an influence in the way that it make the fracture in each one of the different practice we
In
got.
this practice, I learned how important is the temperature on materials, especially for metals. Because with this kind of tests, we can know which material we can use and which metal we can use. Depends on the temperature we are involved.
What I liked from this laboratory practice is that more than the practical part of learning how to do an impact test is the knowledge that I got from knowing how materials react in different temperatures.